Good morning, I'm Alan Honek, and this is Mark Simon. We're agents with Heritage Insurance Services.
And we're here today in Benson County, North Dakota in a field of soybeans that's been damaged by dicamba. Hot button topic right now. Alan's going to talk a little bit about the farm side on the liability. I'm going to touch back in on the crop insurance implications, which maybe get overlooked a little bit in these situations. So we're going to tell you some of the things you need to look for while you're going through this process.
Absolutely. You know, dicamba is a lot of things, but fun is not one of them. We're not here to knock the tool that it is. It's a phenomenal tool that's gained a lot of farms control under resistant weeds that they've not had over the past couple of years. We're not saying one way or another whether it should or should not be used. We're only talking about specifically how the damage relates and how it should be treated in your operation. And then how we use it in our services for our clients. So when you're talking specifically about dicamba, as I'm sure you all know, the big thing with it is it's got a propensity to drift or to invert, if you will. So you can be doing everything right. You could be at fault literally with nothing else other than you applied it. You got good wind conditions, you got good spray records, you're using it labeled, you're using low drift nozzles, you're doing everything you can do, and it'll still invert on you, just like what happened on this field. So it's very important that if you've done everything right, the thing that'll enact coverage in your policy is your spray drift liability. Every company treats it a little bit different. Some companies start off with a really low sub-limit of 10 to 20,000, and then other companies will allow you to go all the way up to the policy limit of $1 million. It just depends on each company's got their own little niche. All right, so it's very important, once you realize that you have damage, speak to that neighbor or speak to anyone who you think may have happened from. Just start the conversation. For the most part, everyone's pretty good neighbors about everything. But you can't just let it go until the fall and, you know what, hey Mark, sorry I drifted on you, and we'll make it right at the end of the year and we'll figure something out. And you know what, that could probably happen 9 times out of 10, but the one that it doesn't, if you wait until November, December to try and file a loss, it's going to be a miserable battle because you're not going to have the records. They're going to be harder to recreate, and it's a lot cleaner if you start off the basic framework. The one who thinks that they drifted, you just have them submit the notice of loss to their carrier, and then we'll take it from there on the multi-peril side.
On the multi-peril side of things, this damage that's happening with dicamba to Roundup Ready bean fields is considered an uninsurable cause of loss. And that means you're not going to receive any indemnity payments from your crop insurance company. So why are we talking about it? We're talking about it because you need to be careful moving forward that you're not affecting your 10-year APH database, because that yield's going to stick with you for a long time. If you're rotating, say, corn, beans, maybe even some wheat, you could have that yield in your database for over 20 years. And that can be a major issue. Now, in the past, when we were working, we made sure to take that into account for them when they were working through the liability claim with that other insurance company from their neighbor. How can you make me whole on my APH being damaged? The good thing for us now, RMA's come out, who governs crop insurance, and they're now going to allow us to exclude these yields moving forward, which is great for you as a farmer. We can take steps to make sure that your APH is not going to be damaged. So how do you do that? You need to get a loss turned in right away. Get a loss turned in with your company. They'll come out, they will verify the fields you had damaged by spray drift. And at that point, you are setting it up for the future of being able to exclude that yield. So when you get to harvest, you need to do a couple things. You need to make sure that if you're in a partially hit field like we're in here, we're in a quarter that 30 acres got damaged pretty bad, you're going to want to combine that separately. If you can have separate grain cart records, that's great. If you're putting it in the bin, if you have a smaller bin to put maybe just these bushels in, that'd even be better. We know that's a pain to move everything around to the 1,500 bushel bin, but that might be what you need to do to make sure that when you go ahead and report production, we have a way to split that out so it's not damaging your APH moving forward.
Absolutely, you know, and the biggest part is I was actually quite surprised that they came out with that. It's a very fair solution to what they're allowed to do. It's a very simple solution. And I just, I hope it continues to go forward, because this would be an excellent tool to be able to use down the road. It doesn't specifically apply only to spray drift either. If a fire causes that loss, that or whatever would have caused it.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So I think the main thing we've trying to bring to the table here is information. Talk to your neighbors who may have sprayed dicamba, who may have damaged your fields, and then talk to your crop insurance agent and make sure you're getting that loss turned in. So when it comes time, you have that option whether you want to exclude those yields. We like to be there every step of the way with our clients when they get in these situations.
Yep.
They're not fun situations to be in, but that's why we're here, to try and bring the knowledge that you need to make the best decisions on your farm.